I just want to tell Kate, I'm 6 foot, and damn proud of it. But I'll always look up to you. Anyway, from the music you can tell, I'm going to be talking about my Italian growing up.
Right.
When I was about 3 years old, my parents divorced, and my grandparents, Maria and Costanzo, took my mother, my brother, and me in to live with them. So, as a result, everybody talked Italian, so we had no choice but to learn Italian. And among all those words, there were the bad words, okay, like merda, bastarda, buttana. My grandmother's favorite was di vengon diavolo, which translated to I'm coming, devil. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but the ever popular was fanculate. And some of you know what it is, but it's not a nice word or a nice meaning. So one day, I'm coming in from a hard day of play, and I said to my grandma, Grandma, they said a word out in the street that I never heard you say. Never heard Grandpa say, my mother say. What is it? Banabla? Her mouth opened up, hair on her hands, arms, back of the neck. She turned white. I'm thinking, how bad could this word be? So I said, Grandma, what does it mean? She did a couple of, signs of the cross, a couple of Dia Santa, and she said, she looked around, made sure there was no priests or kids or people with weak hearts, and she said, it means go to Naples. I'm thinking to myself now, I said, it sounds more like something you would win on an Italian game show. Like, hey, you won 4 nights, all expenses paid, to go to Naples. Phenomenal. So anyway, so we moved up from the Bronx to Yonkers, all the comforts of home, except air conditioning. So my poor grandmother walked around all day long with a cold rag around her neck. Occasionally she'd wipe her face with a bag of ice. So we begged my grandfather, Grandpa, please, why don't you get air conditioning installed? He buttoned up his shirt to the top. He goes, sono fresco como una rosa, which translated literally meant, I'm as fresh as a rose. What it really meant was, not in my lifetime. So, yet this same guy would invite the Kirby vacuum cleaner salesman in every 2 to 3 years. The Kirby vacuum cleaner was like the Cadillac of its day. It did everything. It washed dishes, it walked the dog. I mean, literally everything. And it was probably around $200 to $300, which back then was more like $1,000. So I'm thinking, what kind of dirt does this guy got on my grandfather? Anyway, so there were times when I wish my grandfather would stick to Italian, because we were sitting at the dinner table, me, my brother, and my cousin, and rare occasion he started a conversation. He'd say, hey boys, yeah, boy. He didn't know boys, he just knew we were boy. Hey boy, you know what I see on TV? What, Grandpa? I see fly snake. So I looked and I went, how the hell does that guy have a camera that can zoom in on a fly's neck? No, fly's neck. I went, oh. So my grandmother goes, no, he's saying flying snake. I went, oh, okay. So he also taught us how to make wine. We were actually the minions. We made, crush the grapes and have great fights occasionally. But he taught us also the Italian Sign Language. Now, this was the first one. That meant a lot of things. It meant I'm so mad I can eat my fingers. It also meant lower your voice. And the worst was, if you really held it in there a long time, it was, I'm going to kill you. Okay? Then he had this one, which was, he called it this. And he'd say, ti mangi qui, which translated means you eat from here, from your elbow. But it really meant you're talking out of your ass. Okay? Now, the other one, which I've rarely seen him do, but he's done it. He goes, hey. Oh, yeah. Now that's the Italian sign language for uncool. So, I had a great time with my grandparents, good memories. I like telling these stories because it keeps them alive in my heart. And I thank you for letting me share the time.